Good morning, everyone. It's Kelland on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you begin your day.
The Pennington County Sheriff's Office was one of multiple agencies that helped save an injured hiker Saturday night. Officials say they received the call from the hiker just before 9 p.m., saying he had fallen in steep terrain and had a compound leg fracture.
However, the reception was spotty and they weren't able to get the hiker's location from the 911 call. 9 agencies, including the U.S. Forest Service, worked through the night to locate the hiker near the Castle Peak campground between Hill City and Rochford. Authorities say at about 4 a.m. he was taken by helicopter to Monument Hospital.
In a Facebook post, Patrol Lieutenant Dave Switzer reminded hikers and climbers of safety precautions, saying, quote, "If you're hiking or climbing, stay on designated trails. Hike with a friend. If you hike alone, make sure you have an emergency communication system other than a cell phone, like an emergency beacon." Switzer went on to say the search and rescue was an example of a strong partnership between local and federal agencies that thankfully saved a life.
One Rapid City man is behind bars after allegedly stabbing and killing a 19-year-old. The Pennington County Sheriff's Office says 4 people from Rapid City were out driving late Saturday night when they stopped along Highway 16 near Twin Springs Road.
That's when 2 men got out of the vehicle and began to argue. Authorities say one person was stabbed but was able to get back into the car, call 911, and start driving to the hospital. Law enforcement met the car and started CPR. An ambulance rushed the victim to the hospital.
But 19-year-old Tyler LaForge died from his injuries. Investigators arrested 20-year-old Cesar Angelo Duran and charged him with second-degree murder after interviewing witnesses. This is an ongoing investigation. Stay with KELOLAND News on air and online as we learn more.
One man is facing charges in Sioux Falls after police say he crashed his vehicle into a power pole on the east side of the city. It happened just after 1 a.m. on 15th and Bonson. Police say the 53-year-old man was impaired when he struck the power pole, causing it to snap. He was taken to the hospital and is expected to recover, but has been charged with DUI. Police say no homes in the area lost power, and Xcel Energy is working to replace the pole.
Now let's get a check of our Monday morning weather. It sounds like we're going to have some notable heat today, huh?
Oh, hot stuff. Temperatures in the 90s to near 100 for some of us. We're watching a couple of morning showers and thunderstorms in southeastern South Dakota. They are moving to the southeast. We'll eventually have a high of 95 in Sioux Falls and Huron. Mitchell at 95, 91 Aberdeen, 92 in Pierre, and 87 in Rapid City. Cooler weather arrives by midweek. We're talking numbers in the 70s. And then the rain returns for the coming weekend. More details on your forecast with Brian coming up.
Thank you, Scott. The brutal heat from June did not let up during the first few days of July. With people enjoying their Independence Day weekend at campgrounds such as Lake Pahoja, they had to battle temperatures that were consistently in the mid-80s to low 90s.
Well, we have our awning out from the camper, which has been great for shade. And then we also have a couple fans running out here. And we're hoping to hit up the lake in a little bit to get in the water, hopefully cool us down a little more. And then we're trying to stay in the shade as much as possible, too.
Some campers at Lake Pahoja will stick around until the 4th of July. They continue to endure temperatures in the 80s and 90s today and tomorrow.
The hometown rock group, the Ron Keel Band, came out and played to a packed house at Levitt at the Falls on Saturday. The reception of their return, one of the largest of the season.
Many Keelaholics were present supporting, cheering, and dancing to the band's music. The Levitt says of the band that has traveled the world, they're going to have a large following.
Ron has a huge following around here. I think you'll hear a lot of people who have been with him for years, following his music, going from concert to concert. I think he's going to be a real crowd favorite.
The Levitt will have a 4th of July show after the Sioux Falls Parade with community band playing after. Later that evening, they'll have Army's 6-string band that will be playing.
Sioux Falls Fire Rescue has been posting fireworks safety tips on Twitter. One tip they gave was to soak used fireworks in water for at least 5 hours before putting them in the trash to prevent a fire. Officials say do not put used fireworks in a trash bin in or next to a garage or other buildings if they haven't been soaked first.
Meanwhile, there are plenty of holiday events taking place in the days leading up to the 4th of July. You can find a full listing of the events, including fireworks shows, by going to KELOLAND.com.
That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, our weather update today. Well, thunderstorms are in the forecast. We do expect that some of these could become strong to severe late this afternoon and tonight. This is kind of a broad zone of a slight risk. Keep in mind that in a scenario like this, we do have obviously enough heat, some degree of humidity, and some instability. So it all kind of wraps up together as that. Tomorrow, as the frontal boundary shifts to the southeast, then the severe weather risk will go with that. Twin Cities, Sioux Falls to Omaha, and back into central Nebraska. And that's where your deepest instability will be. And I think that's the best shot at getting some storms. Now, today and this morning, we've had a few of these cells early this morning between Sioux Falls and Sioux City. Those should fizzle as temperatures rocket up into the 90s. These thunderstorms west of Mobridge have been holding together, and that area will likely see some regeneration of that here tonight. I would say even into central South Dakota, there could be some blow-ups on radar this evening. So do keep that in mind, that where these things pop up, some large hail and some damaging winds can occur. Now, we do get a hint of a line of thunderstorms trying to move in west of Sioux Falls late this evening, but I would be cautious about that. I think that some of those cells can meander eastward, but they very well may run out of steam here as they cross into southwest Minnesota, northwest Iowa. Now, tomorrow morning, there is another shot at some rain coming in out of the Black Hills. So to start off your 4th of July morning, we can't rule out some morning hits of rain. The question will be, how much regeneration of thunderstorms do we get through the afternoon? Futurecast here, this version is a little bit more active, although that looks definitely more rambunctious than what I would probably say we would have. We'll get some hits of rain here and there. The tendency would be for more storms to try to develop along the front after 5 o'clock. So could that interfere with some evening plans? Yes, I think there merits some watching on that from Yankton to Sioux Falls to Pipestone, Brookings, and Marshall tomorrow evening. Okay, I know that gets right into fireworks time, but it is kind of our latest thinking here in the Storm Center. So updates will be coming up on that on midday and again later today as we get the full analysis of that. By the way, this whole system clears the area by Wednesday, and we're expecting a dry forecast for a couple days after that, at least for most of us in the east. There are your hot temps today, mid-90s Mitchell and Chamberlain. That 7-day forecast, though, we can squeeze out another 92 tomorrow, and that'll be linked to those storm chances later in the day. And after that, it cools off. We might get back to the low 80s by the end of the week, but I would say goodbye to the 90s. The heat should be done. It looks like Aberdeen will spend at least 3 days in the 70s. Overnight lows in the 50s, so that's more comfortable sleeping weather. And again, for Pierre, let's hit those rain chances pretty good tonight, at least at 50 to 60% levels. Tomorrow, 4th of July, that rain chance should move east rather quickly. So that'll be a morning hit of rain. And even for Rapid City, I would say let's go with the rain chance early and then bring that chance down as we look at fireworks tomorrow night. Most areas around Rapid City should be a little quieter. Check out more details on the weather at KELOLAND.com.